then an existence can be there. A malach can be there. There can be some existence. But through the avodah of the Cohen Gadol on Yom Kippur, when he goes into the Kodesh Kodashim, what he draws down is a revelation that's higher than Ishtalshalos in a way that's higher than having any connection to Ishtalshalos. Because he does the Achas L'mayla V'Sheva L'mata. He starts with the 1, not after 7. Ulagabi Gil Zeh, and when that revelation's around, Kol Adam Lo Yiyah, no one can be around. Even someone who is called, that they look like Adam, which is a malach, even they can't be around. No metzius, no existence can be on that level. It has to be, that's total bittul, there's nothing else. It's nowhere near Ishtalshalos. Ishtalshalos is somethingness. Above Ishtalshalos, but connected to Ishtalshalos, is tolerating Ishtalshalos. But being above Ishtalshalos, you can't have any metzius.
Cohen Gadol is a metzius.
Obviously not.
Why does he have to practice for 7 days though first?
That's for Yom Kippur. The Yom Kippur is an 8 after 7. But then within Yom Kippur, you get to the 8 that's beyond it, without the 7.
How do we know that that's referring to two different things though? Like, because you said that he has to do the spritzes.
Because the way the spritzes worked was you do 1 and then 7. Yom Kippur was 7 days preparation and then the 8th day. But it's the 8th day of tshuva, which is higher than mitzvahs. So it's higher than the 8th day of milah, of mitzvahs, which is the Kodesh Kodashim by itself.
So do the spritzes happen at a different time to Yom Kippur?
It's at a stage of Yom Kippur. It's at a point of Yom Kippur. So there's the whole tshuva of the day of Yom Kippur, which is one type of 8. And then there's the spritz, which is a different type of 8. And that was done in the Kodesh Gadol, the Shpritzim.
Is this like the climax of the 8s? Or like there's another higher 8?
That's...
And is that like the highest level of Giluyim that's on Yom Kippur, or there's like other Giluyim that occur also?
We'll see, there's some other stuff going on as well.
Do we know where on Yom Kippur today this point is?
It could probably be worked out.
But don't we read it like Achas?
It's part of Musaf, I believe.
Right. Also, just on that, when you said that we don't have a room now, so it's not physical, so it's open to all of us almost. So space and time, like, how do we calculate, I don't know, the times of Yom Kippur, or really the times of anything, when we don't have a basement?
Time we still have.
Oh, sorry. So during times based on
There's three dimensions in the Sefer Yetzirah. The Book of Formation says there are 3 dimensions in the world. Every event has 3 aspects to it. There's the time, the place, and the person. The time it happens, the place it happens, and the person it happens to. So, and it says in Yom Kippur is the convergence of the pinnacle of time, space, and person. Because it's the holiest day of the year. And on that day, the holiest person, the Cohen Gadol, enters the holiest space, which is the Holy of Holies. So the time thing we still have.
That's right. Okay.
The space we don't have, and the person has become us.
Okay.
And the space, therefore, is not we don't have it, we don't have it in physical sense. So we create a space, which is our Kodesh Kodashim.
You know how you said the highest level is below and then connecting to like Sheva Lamata. So shouldn't people be able to watch that because you're connecting it back down to Ishtalshus? Like, why can't we watch that?
I don't know.
I see it all the time.
I don't know. Interesting question, I'm not sure. This is all just the groundwork. We don't yet know what we're talking about.
You said Gimmel's where the good stuff starts. That was pretty good, Tim.
No, it's very good stuff. But I'm saying we don't, there's nothing yet to put your teeth into. We haven't actually understood anything. We know what we're talking about. We've set the tone, we now need to start to understand something. Let's look at Gimel. Yuvanzeh. We'll understand this. Behektim Ashakosov. By first going into something completely different. It says in the Torah, "Ke mitzvah zois asher anochi mitzavcha." this mitzvah that I command you, and the pasuk continues, Lo niflesi mimcha, it's not beyond you, v'lo rechoki, it's not far from you. It's ki korav elech, it's close to you to do it. Now, this pasuk, ki ha-mitzvah hazos, this mitzvah, it's in singular. Some Mepharshim say it's talking about all mitzvahs, but many say that it's talking specifically about one mitzvah, which is tshuva. That the mitzvah of tshuva is not far from you, it's close to you to do it. The Kutei Torah explains, the Alter Rebbe explains, the chol ha-mitzvahs nikram mitzvahs havaya. All mitzvahs generally are called mitzvahs havaya, the mitzvahs of Hashem, of Yud Kei Vav Kei. Mitzvah zois, but this mitzvah in this pasuk, she mitzvahs ha-tshuva, which is referring to tshuva, anoichi mitzavcha. Anoichi, I myself command you. Whenever it says anoichi, it means anoichi mish anoichi, I who I am, the one that can only be me. Shalamaylam havaya, which is higher than havaya. Meaning, while tshuva is one of the mitzvahs, it's a mitzvah that's in a category of its own. The other mitzvahs are attributed or associated with havaya, mitzvahs havaya, Yud Kei Vav Kei. Tshuva, the pasuk says, ki mitzvah zois asher anoichi mitzavcha. This mitzvah, I myself command you. It's not coming from havaya, it's coming from me myself, from Hashem himself. What does that mean? The idea is this: the inyan of mitzvahs lahamshich gilu shem havaya ba'olam. The whole point of all mitzvahs is to draw down a revelation of havaya in the world, to draw Hashem's light into the world. But which light? The light of havaya. Meaning, the briyas ha'olam hi b'shem elikim. The creation of the world as it is from the name elikim. Elikim b'gematria hateva. We know that elikim has the same gematria as hateva, nature. Which means, and what is nature? Nature is the world as it is. The world as it does not reveal Hashem, but it conceals Hashem. The natural world that anyone can observe, the world that's in front of our eyes, that is created, that is an expression of Elikim, of Hashem's concealed, finite power. But when we do mitzvahs, we draw down into the world a revelation of Havaya that's higher than nature. By doing a mitzvah, every time we do a mitzvah, we draw down divine light into the world, a divine light that is beyond this world. This world is elikim, is limited, finite godliness. A mitzvah is infinite godliness. This world is governed by the laws of nature. But a mitzvah is tapping into the miraculous, that which is supernatural, that which is beyond nature. So every time we do a mitzvah, we draw down that light. And important to know is that the main center point of that revelation of Havaya that comes down through a mitzvah is experienced by the person who did the mitzvah. And through you doing the mitzvah, through you, the revelation comes into the world. In other words, it's your soul that reveals, that receives that revelation first and foremost. Primarily, it hits you. From you, because you've received this revelation, the world is affected. Now, we at the moment don't necessarily see this. You do a mitzvah and you don't feel all that different. The world doesn't seem all that different. Okay, that's because we don't yet have the eyes sensitive enough to detect what's going on when we do a mitzvah. But the fact is, when you do a mitzvah, the world has become elevated, refined, there's more divine light in the world, and that's through you. So therefore, your soul received it first. You are the filter through which the divine light enters into the world, the light of Havaya. And that's why the very first mitzvah of the Aseret Adibros, the Ten Commandments, the first revelation of Torah to the Jewish people, it starts with I am Havaya Elekecha. I am Havaya, Hashem, your God. Meaning, the whole idea of mitzvahs at Matan Torah was that Havaya, Yud Kei Vav Kei, should become Elekecha, your God. Meaning, as you are without mitzvahs, Elikim is your God. The level of Elikim, meaning the level of Hashem that is concealed and limited. That is your energy. Your God means your energy, your life force. You're connected, you're a part of creation. By doing a mitzvah, you transcend creation. You become a part of the divine reality that is beyond creation. Havaya becomes Elekecha. Your divine, your energy is Havaya now. Which means, on a very simple level, what it means is that when you're living a life of mitzvahs, you're not subject to the laws of nature. The laws of nature were created for a non-mitzvah reality. When you're doing mitzvahs, you're tapping into a supernatural energy. And so therefore, don't expect your life to run by natural laws, a normal course. You're now directly in the divine light, and so therefore, things happen differently. You're not subject to nature, to the laws of nature. You're drawing down Havaya then. Now this is all an introduction to the next point, the next paragraph. The fact that it's possible to draw down into the world a revelation of Havaya, even though the creation is through Elikim, which is the concealment of Havaya, meaning, what we just said doesn't actually make sense at first glance. You're telling me that mitzvahs draw down Havaya into the world that was created by Elikim. But one second. Why was the world created by Elikim? What's Elikim for?
Din.
Why do we need that? Why didn't Hashem create the world with Havaya? Why did he create it with Elikim?
Because we need nature. The elevation of the natural world.
But what will happen to the world if it be created by Havaya?
We'd have a different world.
It couldn't exist. You can't have a world created by Havaya as the world is, because for it to be a limited, finite, physical world, Hashem's light has to be concealed. So Elikim concealed over Havaya to allow only a very limited, thin ray of light to enter this world, so it can exist, but exist in its separateness as a physical world. Now we're saying, but when you do mitzvahs, you draw down Havaya, so then you ruin everything, because the whole world can only exist when Havaya is concealed. You doing mitzvahs and now undoing that concealment, revealing Havaya in the world, so the world can't exist then. So how can you have Havaya revealed in the world? Just doesn't make sense. This, by the way, is a big question. This, if we can't answer this, then our whole system falls apart. We know that we're here to create Dira B'Tachtonim, a home for Hashem in this world. Right? So, why is he not in this world? Well, of course, but he's concealed. Why is he concealed? Because to create a physical world, for it to be physical, he had to be concealed. If he'd be revealed, it wouldn't be a physical world. Okay? And what are we supposed to do? Reveal him in this world. So what's going to happen then?
Yeah.
One of two things. Either the revelation will be swallowed up and disappear, because this world is a world of concealment, or the world will be swallowed up and disappear, because this world can't handle revelation.
But then it will. Then Mashiach will come and the world will be different.
But that's not Dira B'Tachtonim. There's no Tachtonim there.
World.
If the whole point is this world should become a Dira for Hashem, how can you do that? That Hashem couldn't do it. That was his problem, wasn't it?
But it's not like Hashem is revealed in this world. Like he is revealing himself in this world. It's we are revealing him. It's through us that he becomes revealed. And we're finite. We're in this world.
So how can that happen? This world, its very definition is a place where Hashem can't be revealed. That's the whole reason why he had to create through Elikim. So what are we doing? What can we do to...
We're trying to reveal him.
But is it possible?
But tiny bits, but not everything.
Also, when we're...
And it's through us, which really makes it
revealing
limited.
and doing mitzvahs, and it's also tiny bits, isn't it also refining? So the world, the finite state, is still finite, but it's being refined to the point that
Yes,
Hashem...
that's true. That is true. And that's what bit by bit means. Like bit by bit, changing the world, turning it around until it... But if indeed the world is the world as defined by a creation of Elohim, what can you possibly do to change that? Refining the world, taking it out of its very definition?
Yeah, that's really cool. We do that.
What's the definition compared to what Hashem's will is?
Yeah, but the definition is also his will.
Yeah, but he's asking us to
So
to break through the definition
is it,
and define it again.
Okay,
But
but
it's
if we're
still
breaking
not
through the
the same.
definition, then it's not Dibur Tachtonim. If we're breaking the definition of this world, we're going against what this world really is, then it's not bringing him into this world, it's changing this world to be him.
We can't
Okay.
change the world. I mean, he can change the world. We can't change the world. We've still got to do it with this world.
Then what's the bit by bit? Elevating and refining. Isn't refining changing?
But not completely.
Yeah,
like
it's
not
not,
a bad-
it's not
Sorta.
changing. It's
Sort
not
of
changing.
changing.
Yeah, it's not changing. It's refining. That's exactly what it is.
Refining something is...
Is changing.
Yeah, but it's not changing.
If it's not changing
In
it,
terms
then
of
what's
refining a
different?
physical object, it's
It's
changing.
like purifying it.
Which
Yeah,
is still a
because
change.
you're changing it from a
Tachlis.
clipper
But
to
it's
a
still
kedusha.
water.
Tachlis, we're in a physical world.
Yeah.
Can a physical world, on its own, have Havaya revealed in it?
Not in its fullest essence.
Well, if Havaya would be revealed in it, what would happen?
There would be no world.
Yeah.
Well, there'll be no world.
Yeah.
Good. So now we're saying, so we're put into that world. We're given mitzvahs. Mitzvahs are the mitzvahs Havaya. So we bring Havaya into the world to reveal Havaya in the world. Hang on a minute. Didn't we just say that's a problem? That the world can't exist without revelation?
But we're revealing Havaya.
But how?
It's different. It's just different. Me revealing Havaya and Hashem revealing himself in this world is different.
Are you a
It
part
has
of
to
the world?
be different.
Are you a part
Yes.
of this world? So then how are you any different to the original problem? How can you reveal Havaya?
The conclusion is still the same, and that's the problem. The conclusion, not the journey.
It's
No,
just
Doesn't
different.
matter who
we're trying to
reveals
understand
it.
Who, if you're a part of this world, then revealing Havaya in the world, you've got the same problem as the world has. You're going to disappear, and the world will not be. So Hashem won't be in this world. It'll just be Hashem. And if you're changing the world, oh yeah, there was an Elohim world, we're just going to rearrange it and change it to be a different world. Okay, fine. You can do that. So then you're creating heaven, but earth is gone.
What's the answer?
So the answer is very interesting what the Rebbe brings here. Who, the second line on that second paragraph there, it's because in the original intent of concealing himself, of the Elohim power concealing the Havaya power, in the first place, the whole reason he did that was so there should be the possibility of Torah mitzvahs and a revelation of Havaya in the world. In other words, the concealment in the first place wasn't a real concealment.
Good question.
It's like fake concealment, so we can get tricked into doing
The whole
Torah
contradiction
Tachtonim.
we had was because from our perspective, human perspective, Havaya is a revelation of Hashem's infinite self. Elohim is finite contraction, hiding Hashem. These, to us, are two very opposite things, working against each other. So the final result is, we have the concealment, which can't have revelation. If you'd have revelation, you can't have concealment. It's all very opposite to us. That's from our perspective. But looking at it from Hashem's perspective, what was the idea? Hashem wanted to be in this world. That was the whole point. So to make a world, he needs to be concealed. To be revealed in it, he needs us to draw down his infinite light into it. So therefore, what type of concealment is that? If you're concealing in order to reveal, that's not a real concealment. That's a seeming concealment. Because Elohim is not different to Havaya. It's not, God forbid, two gods. It's not two
From Hashem's
powers.
perspective,
It's
yeah.
all one. We misconstrue it as two different powers conflicting with each other. It's Hashem's one system. His power of revelation, his power of concealment, his infinity, his finite, it's all him. It's all just him expressing himself in different ways. So we perceive it differently. But it's not God. Hashem Echad. Hashem Hu Elokim. So the concealment is not a real concealment in the first place. It's a perceived concealment. So for us it's real, because we're a part of it. But its whole point is to be overcome. So if a concealment is there for the sake of a revelation, it's a part of a revelation. The missing link is that we are the ones that have to create that. He wants us to be the ones to invite him in, to create that revelation.
That's what Chevy was saying.
Yeah. I think what she was trying to say at least.
Why is it different?
I don't know that we necessarily, not that we're extra holy or anything, but when we think about it without that question being posed to us, I don't know if we'd necessarily think of Elokim and Havaya as two different forces. Maybe two different expressions, but not two different forces. In the way the question was posed, it was posed as if one would outrule the other. You can't have one if you've got the other.
Well, but it is that way.
No, because...
Yeah, according to human understanding of it.
Except that you...
Elokim, we said that it says in Chassidus that Hashem could not create the world through Havaya.
No, he's not creating the world through Havaya. We're
Why couldn't
expressing Havaya through Elokim.
Right, which means, and what is Elokim? What does Elokim help?
Elokim is because it lets us connect to it.
Because it's a contraction.
Yeah, so it allows us to...
So contraction means limitation, concealment, hiddenness. What is Havaya? Infinity and revelation.
Yeah, but again, you're posing it like it's two opposite. It's not. It's the concealment of the infinite so that we can access the infinite.
So the only way to reconcile these two, they are opposites. Concealment and revelation. Infinity and finiteness are opposites. But
Elokim and Havaya are not opposites.
For us, they are.
Okay.
But that's because we, on the receiving end, we don't get the full picture. Looking at it from above to below, the whole system is about revelation. Even Elokim is about revelation. The only way to get to the revelation is by concealing, and then the world that is the result of that concealment drawing down that revelation.
Yeah.
Which means that the concealment is not an opposition to revelation.
No. But they're directly opposed.
For us, yes. We still understand as and we will still, even after this, understand they're opposites.
Yeah.
That's from our limited perspective.
Yeah. Sorry, one more question. How can you sit there and say from our limited perspective when you are understanding it and expressing it? You're saying we'll never know it to be not opposed?
We still don't understand this. We still can't understand how two opposites can be the expressions of the one thing. We can't understand that. If you contradict yourself, which people do all the time, that is because you're a conflicted person. So one day you say, I really like this. The other day you say, I really can't stand this. The same thing. The same day you say that. Didn't you just say you like it? So why don't you? Because you are a multifaceted, complex...
Female.
I wasn't going to say that. You said that. So that's not unity. That's not unity. That's because there are different sides. Whereas in Hashem, revelation and concealment, infinity and finiteness, it's all one.
Yeah.
We can say that. We can't understand it. We can appreciate it. We can't understand how that is. Let's see where he's getting with this. Let's finish the paragraph. Is it all right? Finish the paragraph?
Yeah. Now that my contacts are out.
Fourth line of the paragraph. There's a pasuk that expresses this from Kehelis that says that Elikim made man upright. The end of the pasuk says, "V'heima bikshu cheshbonos rabim." But people looked after all different types of calculations. Meaning Hashem made people straight. People went after all types of distractions, and we stuffed it up. That's what the pasuk says. Now, the depth of this pasuk is Shakavana b'savos Shem Hashem Elikim Asa. The intent of creation, from Elikim's perspective, when Elikim created the world, when Hashem concealed himself, his Havaya in Elikim, the whole point is that we, human beings, should live an upright life. We should draw down the divine light into the world through Kiyum mitzvahs, through keeping mitzvahs. The whole point is that down here there should be a revelation just like there is up there. The reason why Hashem concealed himself, Elikim created the world. Why did Elikim conceal over Havaya? Why did Hashem do it in that way? Because Hashem wants us to draw down a revelation in this lowly world. So from his perspective, this was all good. This was all revelation. This was all about doing the right thing. Even the concealment, the limitation, the finiteness, the nature, the gashmius of this world, all that was a part of revealing God. That's from his perspective. That was the plan. But when we human beings get confused and distracted and start chasing after all types of different things, including gashmius, brackets hepech kavanas abriya, which means when we go against the intention of creation, now what are we going to do to bring down Hashem into the world? How are we going to reveal Hashem in the world? How can you do it now? You've just reversed the whole system. Hashem created a concealment. He concealed his light to create a finite world. Why? So you can be the one to draw down Havaya, a revelation in the world. Meaning, the whole concealment is really a concealment? No. It's really part of revelation. That's how it was supposed to be. That's how Hashem planned it. That's what he wanted. What happens when we look at the concealment of the world and fall for it? And we say, yeah, Hashem's not there. There's a bit of my life where Hashem isn't there. Okay, Hashem's in a part of my life, but here Hashem's concealed. So here I'm going to do what I want. Over there I do what Hashem wants, but here I've got my little corner where Hashem is not there. And I'm going to do what I want here. Why? Because that's not God's business, or that's not where he is. He's not here. When we fall for the concealment of the world, and we go against his kavanah, and we do something that is against his Torah mitzvahs, what are you going to do now? How are you going to reveal Hashem now? Now you've really got a problem. Okay, we solved the first one. We said Elikim and Havaya are not really contradictions. Why? Because the concealment is not a real concealment. That's talking about as long as you haven't fallen for the concealment. But what if you did, and you've done a sin? That means you bought the concealment. You've made the concealment real now. You have created a space where Hashem is not. Now you're going to come along and do a mitzvah, and say, well, I'm bringing Havaya into Elikim. Now they are contradictions. Now they really are contradictory. So what are you going to do now to bring Havaya into the world? How can you reveal Hashem in the world now if you've fallen for the concealment? Mm-hmm. So to do that, a mitzvah is not going to help anymore. You now need to draw down from Anochi, from the very self of Hashem that is even higher than Havaya. And that is through doing tshuva, which tshuva we said is higher than the other mitzvahs. Other mitzvahs are mitzvahs havaya, but tshuva is anochi mitzavcha, that I myself command you. It's coming from anochi. Tshuva is a deeper revelation of the divine, even higher than havaya. It's from anochi. And you need to tap into there when Elikim has become real, the concealment has become real. Havaya is therefore an opposition to that. They can't work together. You have to go higher than both of them, which is Anochi. And that's through tshuva.
What level is that equivalent on our 8?
We said that tshuva is 8, which is 8 that comes after 7.
Yeah,
then
but does that correspond to
there's
one
regular
of those
tshuva,
levels?
regular tshuva. It's 3 of them. It's regular tshuva and Yom Kippur's tshuva. And then the height of Yom Kippur as well. There's all different types of tshuva. But all Anoichi is higher than Ishtalshalos.
Yes. So when we access
Higher
this
than
mitzvah,
higher,
it's
yeah.
higher than Ishtalshalos also, so that's really like your Achas and Shevel Amat.
Correct.
I think that you just said that when we do an Avera, like when we buy into the concealment, then we kind of make the concealment and Havaya, the revealedness, actually contradict each other.
Correct.
How do we have the power, besides for our own perception, to change what it is from above and then what it is again? You're saying it's not real concealment from above, it's just our perception. And then you say when we buy into the concealment, we've actually made it an opposing force. Right?
Yeah.
How do we
Yeah.
have that power to change the reality of it?
Well, just like we have the power to draw down Havai into the world,
Yeah.
we also have the power to stop that from happening. We have free choice. What does free choice mean from Hashem's perspective when He gave us free choice? It means this is the path you should go and this is the path you shouldn't go. So the path you shouldn't go, from Hashem's perspective, that's what it is. So does that exist, the path you shouldn't go? It's just, its whole existence is non-existence. It's the thing you shouldn't do. So from Hashem's perspective, that's all it is. From the way it was created, evil, wrongdoing, concealing Hashem, is that a possibility? It's only a possibility in order not to do it. But it's no more than a possibility. It's the path not taken that you shouldn't take. But that's true before you take it. If you do take it, you've made it real. You've given it a reality more than it deserves. Because it was only there to not do. So when you do it, okay, now concealment is not just a theoretical thing, it's actual.
Do we need to do active teshuvah for this? Like you said, so the mitzvah doesn't count. So I knew about not eating kosher, I ate non-kosher, and then I did the shuvah process, I regretted I did, and the next time I didn't eat non-kosher, so now I've accessed the shuvah. But what about bal shuvahs who don't know they're rectifying the mitzvahs through their bal shuvah, like through doing the mitzvahs?
Sorry?
Like, sorry, that was very confusing.
No?
So I know that I'm doing something wrong, and so therefore the mitzvah won't help me, just doing it won't help me. I actually have to do teshuvah for it.
Correct.
And therefore I can draw this down. However, about shuvah, they've done things wrong. They don't know that necessarily they're going through that shuvah process, but through doing some of those mitzvahs, they're now actually going through the shuvah process. So, but they didn't go through that charata and I'm never going to do it again.
How do you know?
Well, you're right, maybe they did.
They did, that's what...
Well, I don't know, would they I'm actively not doing something I didn't do anymore. I guess so, yeah.
That's
But
what
even
makes
you,
sense, yeah.
even you who's eaten non-kosher after you know, every time after that you choose to eat kosher as opposed to not kosher, whether you've actually sat down and said, okay,
No, but
I'm
that's when
doing
it's not teshuvah. If I don't actively say it, I'm not doing teshuvah, I'm just doing a mitzvah.
But then didn't we learn once that the pinnacle of teshuvah is when you choose not to do the same thing again? So you may not be saying I'm doing teshuvah, but every time you're not eating non-kosher and you're eating kosher,
I understand that, but I'm saying the definition of doing a mitzvah is just going eating the kosher. So what was unique about the teshuvah all of a sudden?
because you tried something else.
Yeah, I guess. But like someone who didn't try something, I don't know, I thought that's what makes teshuvah unique, like over a mitzvah.
Yeah. There needs to be a point for everyone where
Well,
you actually
but
turn around.
yeah.
It's not just like, okay, I'm going to do a lot more mitzvahs now.
Yeah,
There has to be an uprooting of the negative. So the way the Rebbe in this Maamar puts it is that because your Aveira it's actually undermined your mitzvahs. It's made the concealment of this world real.
Yeah.
So your mitzvahs are going to fall on deaf ears. It's going to hit
okay, that makes sense, yeah.
it's going to hit a brick wall.
Yeah.
Okay, bring down Havaya. Into what? Into the world that can't handle Havaya.
Yeah.
Okay, but it only is a world that can't handle Havaya when you made the concealment of the world a real concealment. The whole point of the concealment was for revelation. The whole point of your Yetzer Hara was to not listen to it. The whole point of evil was the path not to go on. That's why it was created. But when you did evil, you did an Avera, you listened to Yetzer Hara, you've made your Yetzer Hara into a player now.
I want to teach it. Okay.
Now your Yetzer Hara is for
She
real.
needs to own it.
So the only way to remedy that is through tshuva. Tshuva is going higher than not just Elokim, but higher than Havaya. And that is a level where Havaya and Elokim can become one again. You can heal the mistake that you made. And we'll see more about that, God willing, next week.
Okay, this